mention something. Hey, when's Rogan going to have you on his show? Why aren't you doing his show today?
You know, I don't want to be mean to Joe. Joe told me, last time I was on a show was 2 years ago, and it was one of the biggest shows he ever did with, who was on the show with me? It was a great comedian, really funny. Yeah, Tim Dillon. And Joe's like, yeah, we'll have you on a couple months. And then, it's pretty obvious what's going on. Just a little too much heat for Joe to have me on, which is fine. He had courage about the vaccines. He's had courage about censorship. He's been criticizing the power structure, but he's not as hardcore as Steven Crowder, and I'll just say it. But at least he overall defends free speech, and I just don't think Joe can, handle it. We were out at dinner about a month ago, last time I hung out with him, and it's his pet peeve not to bring it up. And I just said, man, it really helped me with this upcoming court case because the whole media is against me. If I could get on there and explain things. And he just said, Alex, you got, there's too much craziness going on. Let's just get through this. We'll talk about it later. So I'm not really worried about it. Obviously, I'm the big interview he'd want. He even said, listen, you're like nuclear weapons. It's a big deal to have you on, but I'm not worried about it. It's really a question for Joe. Because no, I know.
I'm just asking because you talk about how you're hanging out with him, and not only, if not him, he has a bunch of friends who could have you on. He has a whole podcast network. I don't really have that. You've been to our studio. It's really just me. I'd love to grow it eventually with other people and be able to throw more support behind folks. But right now it's me behind the desk.
On the courage scale, Steven Crowder's a 10, Alex Jones is a 10, and Joe Rogan's an 8. And I'll take an 8 all day over our enemies that are at a 0.
Of course.
And so I'm nothing but thankful to Joe for all the heat he's taken having me on.
Right.
And so I totally understand it. And you know what? I don't want to give out any inside baseball here, but I'm just going to leave it at this. I'll tell you off air if you want, but it's private. The very same people trying to silence me, I'm not going to get into it on air, but there's been some real harassment of Joe and stuff that's gone on.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know that's happened with him. And
these people are,
and I'm on that. I'm on that list as well. So I know we all deal with it. And it's not. That's why I say for people out there who are watching, if you're listening right now, by the way, on YouTube, please hit the like button, hit the share button, leave a comment below because you won't find it in the algorithm. And I do ask that you join up at Mug Club. I do ask that you go head over, or if you want to.
This is an information war.
It absolutely
people should
is.
be flooding you with funding. You're one of the only professional people doing top flight comedy and analysis. I mean, it's better than the production on like these late shows that have giant budgets, 20 times your budget. People should flood you with support, and more importantly, word of mouth, because I know that's the real currency we all want, is to override the censors and to win the info war. So absolutely, everybody should support Steven Crowder, who's got the 500-pound testicles.
Well,
Joe's only got 400-pound ones. Okay?
Well,
I admire Joe's balls. Okay.
Well,
but Steven, yours are bigger, and even more juicy.
Well, gosh, you did say you've been drinking too much, and part of that has to do with the fact that I have the under the cabinet microwave. I've learned my lesson. All right, hey, Alex.
No. I made a gay joke, so it goes viral, Steven. It's funny.
Yeah, and you said you have to recharge your batteries. Alex Jones is a robotic homosexual. All right, look.
Alex Jones talks about Steven Crowder's juicy balls.
Oh gosh, yeah. When do I get my 900 million?